Russell Westbrook be playing overseas? And the reason that, you know, this could even be a topic is or rather, Russ is still not on, anybody's roster. And the thing is, there was a report that came out that I saw that said Russell Westbrook is potentially going to get a huge offer from the Sacramento Kings. I mean, not the Kings, sorry, from China. And obviously, playing overseas, could be lucrative. And Russell Westbrook would definitely, bring in bring in the fans and all that kind of stuff. Um, but speaking of the Kings, the Kings are also reportedly really interested, in signing Russ as well. And there's mutual interest. I'm holding my jaw, sorry. There's mutual interest um, between Russ and the Kings. And could Russ actually end up on the Kings? It's interesting because, yeah, I'm going to hold it the whole time. um, it's interesting because when we were talking about it a little while ago, we were talking about how, Russ could go to the Kings, but then when they signed Dennis Schroeder, I was like, I don't know if it really makes sense, because Russ going to the Kings when Schroeder is there already is kind of like, you know, does that really make sense? Um, However, I think Russell Westbrook should be in the NBA. Like, he definitely should be in the NBA. And in order to, get him in the NBA, there's only a couple of teams that are reportedly like, going to offer him something, and that would be the Kings. And then the New York Knicks are still on the list. And I think if, we're picking between the Kings and the Knicks, I think at this point, it, like, I said Russ on the Knicks, could work, but um, I think now that they signed Malcolm Brogdon and stuff like that, you know, and they have Jordan Clarkson, they have, Gabusele, I don't know how much playing time he would get, you know? Um, like Malcolm Brogdon is already going to be their third string point guard, and, you know, him being their third string point guard is already like where is Russ going to go? You know what I mean? Like if, you know, they already have three point guards on the roster, how is Russ going to play? Because Russ is a point guard. And so the Kings, I don't think offer him, a better situation in terms of winning. Like, in terms of winning, the Knicks, they have a chance to, potentially go to the NBA Finals and come out of the East. And the Kings, I don't, I don't, I don't know, what the likelihood is. No offense to Kings and Kings fans. I don't know what the likelihood is that the Kings come out of the West. And so because of that, um, does Russ have a better chance to win if he's on the Knicks? In my opinion, yes. Will he get more playing time on the Kings than the Knicks? That may be true. Although again, the Dennis Schroeder, you know, Dennis Schroeder, Russell Westbrook fit still is like a bit odd to me. Um, but someone said, "Hi, I love that you love basketball." Oh, yeah, basketball, is my favorite. That's why I talk about it all the time with you guys. Um, but what was I saying? Yeah, so the Kings are not going to offer, Russ a better chance to win, but they might be able to offer him more playing time, and I guess it depends on what Russ wants. Obviously, he would like both. He would like to, play, and he would like to win. But if he has to pick between the two, does he value winning over playing time? Because again, we're talking about the Knicks, like they really don't have playing time for him, unfortunately. Again, they even specifically said that they expect Malcolm Brogdon to be a, significant part of their rotation. And if that's the case, you know, again, where is Russ going to fit in there? Like he'll fit in, but like where is he going to get, you know, the significant playing time? And so that's why I guess it just really depends on, you know, does he value the playing time more? Because the money's going to be the same either way, pretty much, right? Like no team has like money to offer. Um, but does he value the playing time more, or the chance to win more? That's kind of what it comes down to. Um, and on top of that, obviously the Knicks are, a big market. They're in New York. Like, he'll have fashion. Hold on, fashion. Russell Westbrook, we know he loves fashion. Like, so maybe New York is the place for him. So he can go to New York Fashion Week. I mean, obviously, that already happened. But he can be, around the fashion. not that not that other states don't have fashion, but like, New York fashion, it kind of goes hand in hand. Um, so uh so maybe that is the place for us. But lifestyle wise, you know, Sacramento, I've never been to Sacramento. Sacramento is not New York, but Sacramento is still like in California. You got the warm weather. It's still like not a small, I to my knowledge, not like a small city, right? So, um, I think lifestyle wise, it's not like too much different in that sense. Like 'cause NBA players, like they're constantly traveling and stuff like that, so they are not, you know, partaking in all the nightlife stuff, all the time. I mean, sometimes, but like, they are not always partaking in what the cities that they live in have to offer because they are constantly traveling or playing and stuff like that. Um, so I know that lifestyle matters, which is why players do prefer to play, in LA, in Miami and stuff like that. But I'm saying comparing like Sacramento to New York, again, may not be the same. New York may be, or Sacramento may not be the same as New York in terms of like, you know, it's New York. But um it's not like, no offense, no offense to anybody who's from here. I've never been here. I'm sure it's a beautiful city, beautiful state. But in terms of like things to do and stuff like that, it's not like New York versus Milwaukee. Again, no offense. No offense. I've never been there, so I don't know, all the things that there are to do there. But the options are, not the same, and that's just factual, um, to my knowledge. Um, Someone said, I still remember seeing you where. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that means. I don't know what you're trying to say. Um, so, where do we think Russ ends up? Is he going to end up on the Sacramento Kings? Is he going to end up on the New York Knicks? Or is he going to end up on, or rather, overseas? I find it hard to believe that Russ would go overseas. I feel like he can get an NBA contract. Like, I'm just not buying that. Um, Someone said, nah, we don't want him in Toronto. Well, I don't think he's going to the Raptors. I didn't hear anything about him going to the Raptors. So, unless I missed that, I don't think he's going there. So, I mean, that's a little mean to say, but you don't have to be concerned, I guess, to my knowledge. Um, Somebody said veterans minimum. Yeah, he's going to get, the vet minimum probably from either the Kings or the Knicks. Like I said, those are the two teams who are apparently, still discussing, you know, Russell Westbrook being signed to them. It was just that I saw a report that, you know, um, apparently China is, going to offer him some large contract, as they should, because if Russ is available, I mean, hey, you know. Um, Someone said la la, Westbrook's career is over. I don't know about that. I think his career being over is, I think that's a little harsh. I don't think his career is over. Um, because we've seen players who, like Russell Westbrook, okay, he's not going to be OKC Russ anymore, right? Like, he's not going to give you 26, 10, and 10 a night anymore. Although, Russ has the Energizer Bunny energy, though. So, like, I wouldn't be surprised if he could. Because he literally, like, he is someone who never runs out of energy. But chances are he's not going to be that. But to say Russ's career is done, I feel like that's a little extreme. Like, he can clearly contribute to somebody's roster. Um, so, let me know in the comments down below where you guys think Russ is going to end up. So, thank you guys so much for watching this live stream. I hope you enjoyed, and